This is Shane Harper from Good Luck Charlie and God's Not Dead, and you're watching Dispatch Radio.
All right, folks, we get to stay with faith-based films right now. We have another good film that we've previewed a little bit before. We spoke to Jen Gottson about it. We posted some on-set photos, and now we get the one of the creators on with us, Brian Yarbrough, talking about Sinking Sand. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, we're very blessed, and I appreciate you cutting out some time for us. Give us a little bit of a preview about the film and what you guys have been working on.
Well, we're excited about it. We, from the beginning, we thought we had a very good script in hand, and so we just made sure we put around the people to make it happen, like bringing in Jen Gottson and Kevin Sizemore and Holly Morris to play the characters and bring them to life, and then bring in a DP like Pat Cooksey just to help with the picture and all that. So we feel like we've got a good picture, a good story and good picture, so people can really enjoy it. We wanted to do it right from the beginning.
I know when we spoke to Jen here recently in her interview, she kind of reflected on the film a little bit, kind of made a John Grisham sort of comparison there. Is that a little bit about how you see the film too?
I think so. I think it's a good way to look at it. It's a good courtroom drama, sort of mystery courtroom drama type of thing. We also throw in some elements of sort of the 1940s, 1930s film noir type of stuff, even though it's filmed in color. We didn't do it in black and white, but we do a lot of color playing with the colors and shadows and stuff like that is film as well, kind of giving it that feel of the old film noir type of stuff as well.
And I know that we've previewed many of Jen Gottson's films, and I think this one fits in too well. Family friendly, we're a little safe for everybody to see, even though it is a bit of a heavy drama.
Yeah, I think it's safer to see there's something in there. We I don't write anything that has cuss words in it and that sort of thing, which is always a challenge as people try to say that can't be real if you don't have them. But I think we're pretty good without it. The subject matter may be a little over the top of some of younger audiences, getting into the kids and that sort of thing. But I think it's clean and they won't be offended by anything that they see.
Obviously, a film like this, you're financing independently. You're working outside the scope of the studios and that kind of thing. Has that become easier for you in the last couple of years? Now that we've seen some of this sort of faith-based films, and now leading into the Bible on television and what Burnett and Roma Downey have done, and some of that, has it opened a few more doors that maybe you didn't have, preceding that movement?
I think people are more open to looking at them. I think they're. Again, it comes down to what kind of quality you've done in your past, what kind of story you have to tell. Is it compelling and that sort of thing? But I think that, yes, the doors are beginning to open. I think we're maybe even seeing, we're seeing more and more of the opportunities, and we're seeing better and better stuff. And as long as that continues, then the doors are going to open for financing and distribution. I get more excited when I hear more about distribution from people like Sony, and working with the Kendrick brothers, stuff like that. When we start we start getting more of the distributors getting more excited, that's when I get excited. Because that means that they know that there's money on the back end, and they're willing to put our stories out there.
Now, a story like this, when you sit down, you kind of start to piecemeal this in. You're writing the skeleton of the story and that kind of thing, and you're in the courtroom drama and that kind of thing. What is the takeaway you hope the audience has from a film like this? Is there certain kind of things that you're like, this is how I was moved. This is kind of like the one big thing that I'm going to build my story around. And if it is, what can you tell us?
I honestly, I think that the one big thing you take away is that if you always follow God's pathway and the things that He wants you to do and how He wants you to handle the situations, He knows you're going to make mistakes. He knows you're going to do things wrong. But if you follow what He tells you to do, and then you're going to be okay. No matter the outcome, no matter what actually happens, He's behind you and He's going to stay with you. He'll walk you through it. Once you start trying to do things on your own, that's when you start to mess things up, and they get from gradually worse. And that's what when people see this film, they'll see something that was kind of small to start with, but it just completely explodes because Jen's character, Brooke McHenry, is trying to do things on her own. She's trying to fix it on her own. She's trying to make up for what she did wrong and some of that, and she just keeps it getting it worse and worse. And I think we do that in our own lives, is that we something goes wrong, we make a mistake, and we try to fix it on our own without stopping and pausing and saying, okay, God, I did something outside of what you want me to do. How do I fix this? How do I make this right? And let Him tell us and let us follow that lead.
Now, some folks may not be real familiar with your cast, but I want to give you a chance to kind of praise them and kind of describe what they brought to the set, what they bring to the production. I know we've mentioned Kevin Sizemore a couple of times. We were kind of waiting for an interview with him as well. He's coming up also in Woodlawn, which opens in October, which we've seen a rough cut of. And, of course, Jen's got several projects in the works. We spoke to Jim Chandler briefly during that interview and that kind of thing. So talk a little bit about your cast. Give you a chance here to plug that process.
I'll tell you what, I was ecstatic with the cast that we had for this. So I don't think there was any weak member on the team. I don't think there's anything like that. We not only do we have Jen Godson, who's been in multiple numbers of movies and really works a lot, even teaching young actors and stuff like that, as far as and how to live a Hollywood live a Christ life while working within the Hollywood system and all that. Kevin brings on just a wealth of experience. It was a great character for him to play. I think he really embraced it, as it was a little bit different from what he had been doing in a little bit in the past. And he just really did seem to hang on to that character and bring more to it than maybe it was actually in the script. Jim Chandler definitely did. We saw Jim back when we were going to do a test read of the script or whatever. I was kind of going through and some different actors, and I came across Jim's headshot, and I said, he's the perfect guy. He looks like he could be evil, and he looks like he'd be, the hunk of the film. So we've called him in, and we have loved him since then. He's a fantastic actor. We also brought in Tom Clark, who is sort of a local celebrity here in Atlanta, a radio DJ. He plays Brooks, the Mr. McHenry, Brooks' husband, and he does a fantastic job. We were really, again, when we brought him in, we were kind of floored by how well and how good he really was at bringing out this character and how well he fit the character. And that's one of the things when I'm looking to cast, sometimes I'm not really so much looking for how talented someone is or whatever. I'm looking, do they fit the part? If they fit the part, people will buy them. People will believe in who they are, and Tom does. He fits his character very well. And all the way down the line, we had Zoe Myers, who was in A Long Walk Home, A Long Way Off. Did a fantastic job in that. We brought her in. We brought in Sandra Williams, who was in The Shunning, and that trilogy that's going on for there. She was also in The Notebook. So we bring her in for sort of a cameo appearance, as someone who kind of tells and helps Jen's character to understand what's happening to her. So the cast, to me, top to bottom, was just outstanding. And so I'm very pleased. I think people will find it. I think they're going to fall in love with Holly Morris. Again, who's sort of a local actor here, but she's done a lot of Delta commercials nationwide, and she's done. She just recently got booked into Ang Lee's next movie. So she's done quite a bit of stuff, and I was very pleased. I think people are going to fall in love with her. She plays Jen's sister in the movie. And I think people are really going to love her when they see her.
We're talking with Brian Yarbrough. We're going to press him a little bit now. I know it's kind of set for 2016. Do we sort of have a release schedule yet? Do you have some more, like a poster and some more images that we can kind of throw out there for readers and listeners?
I can throw some posters, and if I think we'll probably have a trailer here next week that we're to release out. So we're getting on that. We're finalizing some of the sound for the film, sort of sound mix with the music that goes into it. We have a music guy who worked with Disney down in Florida doing music for SeaWorld and stuff like that is doing the score. His name is Mike Marino. You can check his stuff out. It's fantastic at MikeMarino.com. There's your plug. Anyway, so he's giving me the music cues, and we're starting to plug those in and doing some mix and that sort of thing. And we're doing some little tweaking here on color correction a little bit here and there, but we should have a trailer here next week. As far as release dates, it's kind of hard to say. I'll let I think the distributors will have something to say about that as we get closer. We're getting closer and closer into some of the fall films and stuff like that. They may wait and push it off into early 2015.
All right, folks, you kind of got the update on Sinking Sand, and right to the source for you. Brian Yarbrough giving us that update, and we sure appreciate him fitting us into his schedule.
Hey, I appreciate the time.